Hi, everybody. So the Jets have made the move to fire general manager Mike Tannenbaum today, saying that he was, the cause of the problems and the malaise that has come over the Jets and the fact that they have two subpar winning seasons here under the Rex Ryan regime and that they didn't make the playoffs and didn't get to the Super Bowl after Rex had guaranteed a Super Bowl and all this other nonsense. So is this really the right move for the Jets? Is just getting rid of Mike Tannenbaum the right move for this organization? I don't think so. I think if you're going to do something here and make a statement, what Woody Johnson should have done was he should have cleaned house. He should have got rid of Mike Tannenbaum and Rex Ryan as well and start anew. If you're a general manager that's interviewing for this job, why would you possibly want to come into a situation where the head coach is already in place? Your quarterback is basically in place too, because let's face it, folks, Mark Sanchez is going nowhere. He's making $8.5 million next year guaranteed, and I guarantee you he's not going to be restructuring his contract, and Woody Johnson is not going to eat that money. So you're inheriting a situation basically hoping amongst hope that Mark Sanchez is going to be the quarterback that he was 2 years ago, okay, to get you to the promised land. And Rex Ryan is going to do what he needs to do to become a better coach and take them to the promised land. Because let's face it, getting to the AFC Championship is not the barometer here at this point. You've got to make it to the Super Bowl. You've been there, done that. I mean, this is ridiculous. Listen to the statement that Woody Johnson made today in releasing Mike Tannenbaum as the general manager of the New York Jets. I'll read it here. Our 2012 season was a disappointment to all of us. My goal every year as owner is to build a team that wins consistently. This year, we failed to achieve that goal. This morning, I informed Mike Tannenbaum that he will not return for the 2013 season. Mike devoted 15 years of service to the Jets. I want to thank him for his hard work and dedication, blah, blah, blah. Although he helped guide us to 2 consecutive AFC Championship games, we are not where we want to be, and a new general manager will be critical to getting this team back on the right track. Starting immediately, we will conduct a search for a new GM. I've consulted with a number of football executives, engaged the services of yada, 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 and basically says when we have updates on this process, we'll provide them to our fans and the media. I don't buy that for a second, ladies and gentlemen. You'll find more out from the Daily News, the New York Post, and other places than you will from the New York Jets. Then he says, Rex Ryan will remain the head coach of our football team. I believe that he has the passion, the talent, and the drive to successfully lead our team. Like all Jets fans, I am disappointed with this year's results. However, I am confident that this change will best position our team for greater success going forward. Okay, I'm going to take the statement about Rex Ryan remaining the head coach of our football team. This is pretty simple. If Woody is saying that he has the passion, the talent, and the drive to successfully lead our team, I ask one question: where is the talent? Are you blaming injuries for the reason why your team was not a success this past season? What happened last season when you had Darrelle Revis, when you had these guys in place? I'm sorry, but I don't buy it for a second. You don't have the talent. You have an offensive line that is piss poor. You have running backs that cannot run the ball. And, another thing, let's come to the realization, folks. This is not a running league anymore. You have to be able to pass and get the ball downfield. Santonio Holmes was injured. Santonio Holmes was a cancer to this team last year. He got thrown out of the huddle in the last game against the Dolphins. And by the way, a Hall of Famer, a future Hall of Famer, in a running back, LaDainian Tomlinson, went on record saying how bad Santonio Holmes was. But guess what, Jet fans? You're stuck with Santonio Holmes for next season as well, because he's guaranteed, let's see, what about 13 some odd million dollars? So you got 13 plus million tied up in a wide receiver who's not that good. You've got 8.5 million tied up in a quarterback who's not that good. And I'm not that bright in math, but let's face it, that's about $22 million that you've got tied up there, and $6 million over the next 2 years to a head coach in Rex Ryan. So close to $30 million you've got tied up in a head coach, a wide receiver, and a quarterback. All 3 of them not that good. Now you've got Darrelle Revis coming off of a knee injury that you don't know how he's going to be. Antonio Cromartie was tremendous this year, but let's face it, I don't think he's going to put up the same numbers next year. You have to worry about LaRon Landry. Is he going to stay or is he going to go? Who do you keep on this team? If I'm the Jets, I keep Braylon Edwards. But let's get back to this here, okay? It's about the talent. What talent do they have on the defensive side of the ball? Wilkerson? I'll grant you that. Outside of that, who else has done anything on the defensive side? Nobody. This is a team, if you're a GM coming in here at this point, you're inheriting bad cap moves. They extended Sanchez when they didn't need to. They extended Rex Ryan after his first year when they didn't need to, but he doesn't count against the cap, so that's dead weight you can easily get rid of and not have to worry about. But you can't cut Santonio Holmes and Mark Sanchez now. You're stuck. And by the way, that Tim Tebow experiment worked out real well for you, didn't it? I mean, it was fantastic. It was great. He gets one handoff yesterday, does nothing to help the team. This is a guy that last year took the Broncos to the playoffs, beat the Steelers, got crushed by the Patriots. And I'm not saying he would have been the end-all, be-all of quarterbacks and he would have saved the Jets season, but at least give the guy a chance. If he had failed, okay, he failed, but he failed on the field. When you kept him on the bench, what did he fail at? He failed at holding the clipboard. That's it, because he was the third-string guy. So what was he doing? Getting the Gatorade ready? I mean, it's ridiculous. This team has a lot of problems. They've got a lot of changes to make. They made the first step by getting rid of Mike Tannenbaum. And it's a shame. Nobody wants to see anybody lose a job. But after 15 years, enough is enough. He had not done nearly as well evaluating talent. He hamstrung them from a cap standpoint. The guy had to go. It's time to make changes. But I think Rex Ryan should have also went as well. I think you have to start making wholesale changes. And at this point, I think Woody Johnson is going to have to eat some of those contracts in order to get this team and get this ship righted sooner rather than later. Because let's face it, they are not going to win as presently constituted. And I don't see where they're going to get anybody. And if you just take Mark Sanchez, for instance, as being the focal point of the blame of all of this, the offense and the offensive troubles or whatever, Tony Sparano was awful as an offensive coordinator. If you're telling me that Schottenheimer wasn't that good, okay, fine. But it's now two offensive coordinators. Sanchez still hasn't matured enough to take it to that next level. And who's out there at quarterback? It's a weak college draft for quarterbacks. The free agency market is not that well. And what team is going to trade for a guy who threw a pick six yesterday against the Bills and just can't take care of business? Okay? Nobody. Jet fans, I hate to say it, you're stuck with Mark Sanchez, you're stuck with Santonio Holmes, and you're stuck with Rex Ryan for at least another season. Now, you've got to hope that the general manager that comes in can do one of two things, okay? Either he's a Sandy Alderson, he's a miracle maker where he takes what he's got and he just mixes it up and, they put a different team on the field with what they presently have and, things happen. Or you've got, he convinces Woody Johnson, you got to bang Rex Ryan. You got to get rid of Mark Sanchez. You got to do it now before the 2013 season. Those are your two options there, folks. More on this coming up Thursday night, 7 o'clock Eastern on Sports Shouting Radio at sportsshouting.com, the Al Gattullo podcast. Follow the link and make sure you're listening Thursday night.